Bryson City, North Carolina. I wanted to come on here to give an update or share something that I don't think I have, and that's that I'm currently taking the artist way. So for anyone who has heard of that, awesome. Let me know your experiences. Please leave a comment. And for anyone curious or wanting to follow along the journey, I'm gonna add some more updates here. So subscribe if you're interested in hearing more. So I'm on week 8, and this is essentially a 12-week. It's a book, but it's really designed in a course. And a course might sound daunting, but it isn't. It's actually simply a book, a textbook-like book with 12 chapters. They're very short. Each week you read a chapter, and you have some tasks, and you don't have to do all the tasks. It's actually kind of funny the way that it's set up. She asks you do the ones that you really don't want to do and the ones that you really want to do, which I thought was funny. So I'm on week 8, and what I'm talking about now really resonated for me, specifically for our channel and for YouTube and for what that's meant for me as a creative medium. So I've been a writer, self-called and employed, and I've had blogs and travel blogs. I've just written a book, and so writer is very woven in my identity. And today's chapter is all about the grace to be a beginner is always the best prayer for an artist. And I think so much about that because of our YouTube channel. For me, the idea of being on camera, of learning how to make film, of putting up our first video, which I mean I cringe looking at now and it hasn't even been that long, is tied to this ego of I don't want it to suck. You know, like it's very easy to compare ourselves with people that are so much farther along their journey. And I've definitely done that at the beginning. I had some trouble getting into our channel because I kept comparing it to these other really great channels that I love and admire and I watch for inspiration because I love them. I'm just now fans of the families and how it's really cool that they're sharing their life. But something about that has always really attracted me to YouTube, the way that people are chronicling and documenting and sharing experiences and learning from each other. And I just think of all the social media platforms, this one feels like it's bridging the gap and showing us how much more alike we are despite the different backgrounds and details of our life. And I could have missed out on this if I would have listened to that voice at the beginning that told me, why even try? Like, you're not gonna be this good. You're not trying to be a professional filmmaker, so what's the point of wasting all this time, right? So why even try? Because it's so fun. I feel like this filmmaking and learning to make videos and sharing them, and especially with the community aspect when we hear back from you guys, it's been so gratifying, and it's actually made me feel like a kid again, like an artist child, like how I was when I was a kid. And that was curious. I was never daunted by a task. If someone told me it's gonna take you at least a year to get really good at this, if not more, that would have been like, okay, cool. Like when you're a kid, you don't have this concept of time or this concept of whatever you're doing in order for it to be valuable must have a product associated with it. Like if you're productive, it's always like, what's the point, right? There are so few times people actually value the point was the process, you know, like, yeah, it's a big deal to me. And can you guys relate? I mean, is there anything that you're trying to get into that you're like, oh, what's the point? Or, you know, looking down 2 years ago, no, maybe a year and a half, I shouldn't say 2, it was a year and a half when I wanted to do this channel, looking forward, having no like idea what the hell I'm doing, what we're even going to vlog about, having not vlogged, all that stuff. Just the fact that it was going to take a year or several years to get really good, I almost didn't do it because I was like, oh, that's so long. And now that we've had our channel for about a year and change, it's like that first year, really last year I count as our first full year. And having that time now behind us, I'm so grateful for everything that I've learned, for the community that we're starting to grow, and also for the fact that now I have this new skill set that I'm getting better at. You know, I'm not like the best, but that I've done this. It's so gratifying. And if I would have let myself talk myself out of it because of the time, you know, like, oh, it's gonna take me years, what's the point? Like, well, you're living. You know, I don't do this full time. Like, so I just wanted to share that with you guys because I feel like there's other people out there, and maybe if you watch this and you don't have a YouTube channel, on some level you've been curious about it. So start. Don't listen to your ego. Don't listen to those stories. Start. It's actually positively impacted other areas of my life inadvertently, besides just the joy that I feel with the learning and the connecting with people on this platform. And also, I thought this sentence was so good. This is the last thing I'll share, is I'm writing a screenplay is infinitely more interesting to the soul than I've written a screenplay. I'm learning to navigate YouTube. I'm building my channel. I'm learning to make videos is infinitely more interesting than I've mastered it. Or I used to have a YouTube channel. I did that, you know, than anything that we do, right? Like, even I'm learning to write a book is much more interesting than I wrote my book. And I can actually say that because I did learn and I did write a book, and I was so much more interested and engaged and electrocuted to share it while I was creating it. And now that it's gone, ironically, it's the time that I probably should be sharing it the most. It's less interesting than when I was making the thing. So that's my quarantine thought for the day. If you want to make something, make it. Embrace the grace of the beginner and letting yourself be curious and learn.